You want to hear something a little funny? I'm 94 years old, and I still have things in my closet I haven't needed in 40 years. There's a pair of shoes in there I made in 1983. Beautiful leather, perfect stitching. Back then, my hands were steady and my eyes were sharp. Today, my feet are swollen like two old tomatoes. Those shoes haven't fit me in years. So why do I keep them? Because human beings are terrible at letting things go. Not just things, memories, pride, old habits, old identities. We hold on like our life depends on it. But most of the time, the things we refuse to let go of are the very things quietly draining our life. So let me tell you about 10 things. 10 things you should sell before you retire. Not your comic books, not your grandmother's china. I'm talking about the things that secretly own you. The things eating your time, your money, and your peace of mind. And I learned most of this far too late. Maybe you don't have to. Let's start with the biggest one. Sell the house that's too big for your life now. I had a friend, Carmine, construction worker his whole life, hands like tree branches. He owned a big house in Staten Island, 4 bedrooms, basement, backyard with a fig tree he planted in 1967. Raised 5 kids there, but by the time he turned 85, he was living in just 3 rooms. Kitchen, bedroom, bathroom. The rest of the house?
Dust, echoes, memories behind stairs his knees couldn't climb anymore. His kids kept telling him, "Pop, sell the house, come live closer to us." But Carmine always said the same thing. "This is where your mother cooked Sunday gravy. This is where you kids grew up." Then one night in 2018, he fell down those stairs, broke his hip, spent the last year of his life in a nursing home. And that big house sat empty, eating taxes, eating maintenance, eating money. Here's what I want you to understand. A house is wood and brick. The love that happened inside it lives in you. You carry the memories. You don't need the building. I learned that myself when my shoe shop burned down in 1978. 30 years of work gone overnight. Every tool, every machine, ash. But the fire couldn't burn what my father put inside my hands. The skill, the pride, the lessons. Those things live in you. So if you're rattling around inside a house that's too big now, sell it. Buy something smaller. Use the rest of the money to actually live. Now the second thing. This one might make some people angry. Sell your habit of rescuing your adult children. My son, Enzo, came to me when he was 32. Bad investments, debt, panic in his eyes. He needed money. I gave it to him, every dollar.
3 years later, same problem. 5 years after that, same problem again. Because I trained him. I trained him to believe Papa would always fix it. Until my wife, Gloria, sat me down one night. She said something that stopped me cold. "Sal, you're not helping him. You're weakening him." That hurt, but she was right. So I told my son, "I love you, but this is the last time." He didn't talk to me for 6 months, but he never asked for money again. 20 years later, he told me, "That was the best thing you ever did for me." Your kids have decades ahead of them. You don't. There are loans for houses, loans for cars, loans for school. There are no loans for retirement. Now, number 3. Sell the expensive toys you never use. I had a friend, Frankie,
who owned a beautiful boat, dirty 2 feet, docked in Sheepshead Bay. He talked about that boat constantly. "Sal, you gotta come out on the boat." But you know how often he actually used it? Maybe 6 times a year. The rest of the time, it just sat there. Dock fees, insurance, repairs, maintenance. One day I asked him, "When's the last time you were actually on the boat?" He had to think about it. That's when you know something owns you, when you have to think about the last time you enjoyed the thing you're paying for. Eventually, he sold it. Afterward, he told me something funny. "Sal, I feel lighter. Possessions don't just sit there. They take up space in your mind. And in retirement, your mind is everything." Now, number 4, sell the second car. If you're both retired, how often do you really need 2 cars? My neighbors had a Toyota that sat in their driveway so long birds started nesting under the hood. They sold it, took the money, went on a cruise to Alaska, held hands on the deck watching glaciers. Tell me something. Would you rather have a car collecting dust or a memory like that? Now here's a big one. Sell your work identity. When I retired from my shop, I thought I'd be fine. But for months I felt lost. For 70 years I had been Sal the shoemaker, and suddenly I wasn't. One morning, Gloria found me staring at my coffee with tears in my eyes. She asked me one question. "Sal, who are you without the shop?" I didn't know. Your job was never your identity. It was just what you did. If you don't figure that out before retirement, retirement can feel like disappearing while you're still alive. Now, number 6, sell your grudges. I didn't speak to my brother-in-law, Marco, for 30 years. Do you know why? I don't remember. Marco died in 1998. I missed the funeral.
30 years of anger for something I can't even remember. That's the price of a grudge. Call the person. Swallow the pride. Pride is expensive, and it pays nothing back. Number 7, sell your fear of what people think. When I married Gloria, I was 72. She was 62, and people talked. Neighbors, church, even family. But by 72, I had already buried 1 wife and too many friends. I wasn't going to waste another minute worrying about strangers' opinions. Most people aren't thinking about you anyway. They're too busy worrying about themselves. So stop performing for an audience that isn't watching. Number 8, sell your need to control everything. You can give advice, but you can't live someone else's life. The tighter you grip, the more slips through your fingers. Number 9, sell your perfectionism. My father used to say something when we made shoes. The shoe doesn't have to be perfect. It has to fit. It has to hold together. It has to let the person walk. That's life. Movement, not perfection. And the last one, sell your someday. For years, I had a list. Someday I'll go back to Napoli. Someday I'll learn piano. Someday I'll tell my son I'm proud of him. I finally told him. I was 93. He was 67. And that 67-year-old man cried like a child, hearing his father finally say it. Why do we wait so long? Someday is a thief. It steals your life while promising to give it back later. So write down 3 things you're saving for someday. Now cross out the word someday and write this month, because someday isn't on the calendar. The only day that exists is today. I've buried friends, family, 2 wives I loved, and the biggest regrets in my life
aren't the mistakes I made. They're the things I never did because I thought there would be more time. So sell the house, sell the grudges, sell the fear, sell the perfectionism, sell someday, and go live while you still can. I'm 94, and believe me, someday is the biggest lie we tell ourselves.